The Zephyrian diplomatic vessel Sovereign's Will hung in the void between Mars and Jupiter, its crystalline hull reflecting the distant sun's light like a predator's eye. Ambassador Kethvar had summoned the human delegation with all the ceremonial arrogance his species was known for throughout the galaxy. Captain Sarah Chen of the Earth Defense Force stepped into the alien ship's central chamber, her boots clicking against the smooth, organic-looking floor. Behind her walked General Marcus Rodriguez and Dr. Elena Vasquez, humanity's finest diplomatic minds. They had come expecting another territorial dispute, another resource negotiation, another tedious discussion about hyperspace lane rights. They were wrong. Kethvar towered above them, his serpentine form coiled around a floating throne of living metal. His species had conquered 17 star systems, enslaved countless worlds, and now they had set their sights on the Sol system. His voice carried the weight of eons when he spoke, each word dripping with condescension. "Humans," he hissed, the universal translator rendering his words in perfect cold English. "Your species has become problematic. Your expansion into the outer colonies, your resistance to proper galactic order, your stubborn refusal to acknowledge superior civilizations. It ends now." Captain Chen maintained her composure, though. Her hand instinctively moved closer to her sidearm. "Ambassador, we've always been willing to negotiate." "Negotiation?" Kethavar's laugh was like breaking glass. "No, Captain, this is not negotiation. This is surrender. You will submit your colonies to Zephyrian rule, dismantle your military, and accept servitude, or we will begin with your most vulnerable populations." The air in the chamber seemed to drop several degrees. "What exactly are you saying?" Dr. Vasquez stepped forward, her voice steady despite the implications. Kethavar's eyes, black, multifaceted things, gleamed with malicious pleasure. "We are saying, Doctor, that unless humanity submits within 72 of your hours, we will target your spawning grounds, your educational facilities, your—" He never finished the sentence. The plasma bolt took him center mass, fired from Captain Chen's sidearm before anyone in the room could blink. The Zephyrian ambassador's scream echoed through the chamber as his form began to dissolve, the energy weapon's discharge overwhelming his species' natural regenerative abilities. "You just declared war on our children," Chen said, her voice carrying a lethal calm that made General Rodriguez step back. "Bad choice." The remaining Zephyrian guards moved to attack, but they had underestimated human reflexes honed by millennia of warfare. Rodriguez's military-grade pulse rifle spoke twice, and suddenly the diplomatic chamber was very quiet, except for the ambient hum of alien technology. Dr. Vasquez was already at her tablet, fingers flying across the interface. "Sarah, I'm uploading everything we just recorded to the emergency beacon. Earth needs to know." "Good." Chen holstered her weapon and looked around the chamber. "Marcus, how long before their fleet realizes their ambassador is dead?" "Maybe 20 minutes if we're lucky. Their communication systems are quantum encrypted, but they'll notice when he misses his next scheduled check-in. Then we have 20 minutes to get back to the Perseverance and warn the colonies." Chen turned toward the exit, then paused. "Elena, send a priority message to Luna Command. Tell them to activate Protocol 7. Dr. Vasquez's fingers stopped moving. Protocol 7 was humanity's contingency plan, the one they hoped they'd never need to use. "Sarah, I know what it is." Chen's voice carried the weight of command and something darker. "They threatened our children, Elena. Our schools, our nurseries, our future. Protocol 7 exists for exactly this scenario." The journey back to their ship took 12 minutes. During that time, Dr. Vasquez's emergency transmission reached Earth, Mars, the asteroid mining colonies, and the outer settlements. The message was simple and devastating. Children threatened. Execute Protocol 7. No quarter. What the Zephyrians had failed to understand, what most alien species failed to understand, was that humans were pack hunters who had clawed their way to the top of their food chain, not through superior strength or technology, but through something far more dangerous. Absolute uncompromising loyalty to their young. When the Zephyrian fleet arrived at Earth 72 hours later, they found humanity waiting. Every human military vessel, from the massive dreadnoughts to single-pilot fighters, had converged on the Sol system. Mining ships had been retrofitted with weapons. Civilian transports carried boarding parties. Even the generation ships that had been preparing for deep space exploration had turned their course toward Earth. But it wasn't the size of the human fleet that gave the Zephyrian commander pause. It was the message broadcast on all frequencies as their ships dropped out of hyperspace. "This is Admiral Sarah Chen of the United Earth Defense Force. You threatened our children. There will be no negotiation, no surrender, no mercy. We are taking your ships, your technology, and your worlds. Anyone who surrenders will be treated according to the Geneva Convention. Anyone who fights will learn why humans are the galaxy's apex predators." The battle lasted 18 hours. When it was over, the Zephyrian Empire, conquerors of 17 star systems, no longer existed. In the aftermath, as human salvage crews picked through the wreckage of alien ships, Dr. Vasquez found Captain Chen standing in the observation deck of the Perseverance, watching the debris field slowly tumble in Earth's gravitational pull. "Any regrets?" Vasquez asked quietly. Chen was quiet for a long moment, watching a piece of Zephyrian hull plating drift past the viewport. "Ask me again in a few years when our children are safely playing in parks that no alien species will ever dare threaten again." The message spread quickly through the galactic community. Humans were no longer the newcomers to be bullied or dismissed. They were something far more dangerous, protective parents with the military capacity to enforce their protection across star systems. The Zephyrians had made one critical error in their calculations. They had threatened humanity's children. They never got the chance to make another mistake.